Was it you, Matt Poller? Were you quickest in the warm-ups? You believe you were? Okay. Final words before you head out for your qualifying times.
Go give it hell, I guess.
There you go. Go give it hell. And that hell corner, turn number 1. We've got a few more sim races. Introduce yourself to the crowd. You'll be racing here today. And how do you'll fare?
Hopefully I do all right. You know, there's some tough competition, but it's always a bit of fun to race.
Definitely. Sim racing is great. Stephen Bull, you're one of the veterans here. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but oldest sim racer here at 30 years of age. We're about the same age. That's okay. I'll make you feel less bad about yourself. There's a driver here half your age. One of them's in the cockpit on the left. How does that make you feel?
Oh, he's very impressive. I think we're all looking for him to set the pace. But yeah, just looking forward to getting on the rig. Just send it.
Just Send It. There used to be a series called Just Send It back in the day. You would have raced in that potentially once upon a time. There were like 90-car grids. It's okay if I don't remember if you raced in those. Those are some fun ones. Jay Kennedy, the Sim Speed team, did some massive help running that. They're behind the scenes. You're watching a live stream here. Motorsport Australia is where this is being broadcasted, as well as the Sim Speed YouTube page. First lap times. Matt Bowler on Sim 4 on our left. Rob Carmichael in the middle. He's on the grass here at, that is Skyline. Tip the grass at McPhillip-Me, just like Scott McLaughlin did once upon a time. So if you've just joined us, welcome along. Hello, how's it going? 12 of Victoria's best sim racers here at the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship. We're going to send 4 home today. Sounds tragic. Hopefully they Oh, there we go, we're back. 4 of them will go home. Hopefully they got tickets to attend tomorrow because MotorEx, what an event this is. We've got a lot of stuff here. I've never been to MotorEx before. There is a lot more going on than I thought. I'll get out of your way, excuse me. And in front of you, you'll be able to catch some of, like we said, Victoria's best sim racers competing. And we're going to find out who is Victoria's best sim racer. From 15-year-olds competing to 30-year-old veterans, fathers, families here as well, mums and dads and brothers and sisters, and I've seen a lot of, some of here are just on their own because they can. And their families don't care about them sim racing, unfortunately. I had that pleasure once upon a time, but it's okay. They were still proud of me. I finished first in an international race. Well done. Now come back to dinner. That's how it generally works. Oscar King. Lovely cap, by the way. Are you sponsored by that particular company? Okay, then we won't give them a mention. But MOZA Racing, have you had a chance to jump in and feel the R3 bundle, the wheel itself, the wheelbase, and the pedal set?
Absolutely.
And how does it feel?
Yeah, I think the equipment's top-notch. Just needs improvement on the settings.
It does, and that's something that has no fault to the equipment itself. It's something that you need to calibrate software-wise, as you do with any sim racing equipment out there that you may purchase or use at home. Let's talk a little bit about yourself, Oscar. You're going to jump in a moment's time. You have aspirations to be a Formula One race engineer, or at least F1 Esports to start off with.
Yeah, that's it. Been working on that for about 18 months now, making some progress. You know, trying to join a big team in Europe.
And that's it. And you've been building the contacts, haven't you, so far? How's it all traveling to achieve your goals?
Yeah, looking for an opportunity for the coming season. You know, we'll see how it goes. New game comes out in a couple of weeks. So just, yeah, working hard, trying to learn as much as we can about the game, and yeah, we'll see if an opportunity comes along.
What's your personality like as a race engineer? Are you a kind of Will Joseph, talk 100 words every 2 seconds, or are you a bit economical with your words?
I think the main thing I focus on is trying to ensure that strategically the driver's making the best decisions. It's more than just making the right calls when it comes to pit stops and understanding the game at a fundamental level. They have to make the right wheel-to-wheel decisions. That's really where a big part of the skill.
1, 2, we're back. Back in the day, I raced with Rahn's dad, or I never raced with him, but we raced in the same era. And when we did strategy, I actually used to write down, it was a 3-stop race, I'd write down the target lap with a glass of water, and if I went +2, I just remember +2 for the rest of the race. Do you have an engineer racing for you, a race engineer for a race engineer, or have you given up on your racing days apart from today?
Oh yeah, of course I do some driving here and there. It's important.
La la la.
Because it improves your understanding of the game, and it helps you understand what the driver is actually going through mentally as he drives. So yeah, that's the main priority.
I once stepped in as a racing engineer once, thankfully never again. And just because I love driving so much, that's not to grade that sound. Joseph, don't laugh. That made me sound like I was degrading race engineers. What I was trying to say was I pumped up. It was for a Spanish team, and I was on the Spanish team. Learned a lot of good Spanish stuff, like the horchata. You know what that is? It's a yogurty drink. Are you into that kind of stuff?
No, I haven't heard of that. I know that
They do, a lot of different cuisines, correct. And the horchata is a nice cold drink you can have. I think it's coffee based. I don't know. This is 10 years ago, mate. And I jumped in and he was really excited by how pumped up I got during battles. He loved the excitement rather than having a guy who was straight talker. It's a very personal relationship. He's a race engineer. You need somebody who you relate to the best. It's not always one size fits all, is what I'm trying to say there. So I was thinking, I'll leave you alone. I'll let you enjoy the action. And we will have a look at some lap times at the moment. So let's go straight to Sim 1. That's good for my eyes. It's zoomed in. Field of view a lot. Well, the field of view settings here is actually kind of intriguing. Pit Makita going straight in. That's how I would do it. I would actually go a little bit more than that. And that's funny, right? People laugh at me. That's why I got into so many incidents when I raced, because I couldn't see anything left or right. So 2 minutes 20.0 for Ryan Taborski. Go over to Pit Makita. Quickest time, 2 minute 19.8. That is very tight. Rob Carmichael's going through some drama on his sim, which he'll sort out quickly. Matt Bowler is having a field day with a 2 minutes 19.3. The quickest qualifying time was in the 2 minutes 17 rank. Set by Leonage, our fastest qualifier. Stephen Bull, how did you qualify? In terms of lap time, in terms of competence, I mean.
It wasn't too bad. I think a lot of us are getting used to this car, not driving it too often. So I think we would have seen some improvement if we all. But you know, a couple of tenths off. So I'll bring everything.
Did you know WM2 is free on iRacing?
I did, and I haven't taken much advantage of it recently. So.
We're back. The BMW M2 free on iRacing. Thanks for your time, Stephen. We'll come back to you in a moment and figure out what's going on. Can we have a chat quickly? Rob, come on in. Here we go. Lurking in. There could be some dead spots over there, so I'm going to try and stay here. Rob Carmichael, who was in Sim 3. You're obviously going to get another go at it, another stab at it, but from the limited lap times you got, what was the issue you had, and is it quick fix?
It's a quick fix for the competitors. It's pretty much pressing the brake pedal down. So racing isn't detecting that the brake pedal is being pressed down, so you can't brake forward ever. We definitely need the brake, and you have no brake. So hopefully the guys at MOZA can get this fixed, and we can use this sim again.
There's a chance we can put you in a Formula V, and we just coast around the whole lap. Soapbox maybe, and no brake pedal, so no, we won't do that. So you'll be up and running very, very soon, and as the rest, we'll have 3 more drivers competing at the moment. You're watching Philippa Makita on screen, and coming through the chase, I believe that is, around the beautiful Makita. Went over to Spain as part of the FIA Motorsport Games Esports Series, represented at country. Let's take a look at his lap time because 4 tenths down and was best. Across the line, 2 minutes 20.4. That's not even close. So another lap time to begin things here through Hell Corner. Look at the conditions as well. Very partly cloudy conditions. That is simulated. Can you believe it? That is simulated. There's rain on iRacing 2. Won't rain today. We're not expecting weather, thankfully. And for anybody who's joining us at the Melbourne Showground, welcome along here. It's welcome to the sports world. You're watching the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship. We're finding out who is Victoria's best sim racer, who is Victoria's best, and who will win the MOZA Racing R3 bundle at the end of tomorrow, which is on offer to our $50. Also available at JB Hi-Fi if you'd like to go purchase it from JB Hi-Fi as well. Thanks to the Motorsport Australia crew who's joining us here today. Back on Pip Bakita's lap time here, which is one of our only runners to get through. I'm just wondering what's happened with Matt Bowler. Is Matt Bowler in a different session? Matt, am I in the dead spot again? That 2 minutes 19.9 for Matt Bowler. Second place, right behind Ryan Taborski, who you're watching on your pictures. It's a beautiful car, isn't it? The BMW M2. Look at that, through the elbow. Hug the inside, long conrod straight here. No helicopters to deal with on the simulator. With an almost 1 kilometre straight, full throttle here all the way to the chase. We've seen, well, you can see the house in the background. For anybody watching who's never seen iRacing before, this track at Bathurst is laser scanned. They brought scanners here about 10, 15 years ago roughly. Scanned the track, took over 10,000 photos to recreate this track on a simulator. And those photos include, with no personal details included, the letterboxes of some of the houses as well, where the leaves fall on the racetrack. They've accurately simulated all of that, and that's why this racetrack is as close to realism as you can get. In the Taborski across the line, and we'll take a look. I'm going to walk over to his sim and try and find out this lap time. Let's do some journalistic hunting and find out here. Where is Ryan Taborski? Last lap time, 2 minutes 20.6. So that is that right there? 2 minutes 20.0 for Ryan Taborski. I need to make sure we're on the right sim here. Am I getting different lap times? So let's look at Pip Bakita. 2 minutes 19.3 for Pip Bakita, finding some pace there as well. And 19.6 for Matt Bowler on Sim 4 on the right-hand side. There we go. We got some standings up for you right here. That is, now I believe, we'll need some correction. I believe that it's actually Pip Bakita with the 2 minutes 19.3, and the time is switched with Ryan Taborski. So on your pictures as well, just don't get mistaken by those standings. It's actually Pip Bakita and Ryan Taborski. Their names are the other way around. So it is Pip Bakita in P1, then Matt Bowler and Ryan Taborski in third. You're still getting used to the sim. He's coming through right now. Skyline, the dipper. And then towards, well, we switch over to Matt Bowler. Now, Matt Bowler, look at the intensity there. The man with the mustache. And one of the best Discord photos you will ever see. Out there in a yellow BMW M2 CS racing car. I'd say I'm correct in saying, hello, sir, welcome along to the Victorian Esports Championship. Do you yourself drive a BMW M2 in your spare time? No, you don't, okay. What do you drive?
Toyota 4Runner.
Doesn't want me to say, okay, we're back in action. Doesn't want me to say how good Toyotas are. Have you ever sim raced before in your life?
Nah, just like Gran Turismo, that sort of stuff.
There you go. Is this enticing you? Because MOZA Racing, excuse me, we've got the R3 bundle available at JB Hi-Fi, valued at $550, right? That's pretty good price range for some of the, there's some other equipment out there that definitely, cost of living crisis, very hard to put hands at an R3 bundle with pedal set and all that kind of business and compete these drivers, maybe in next year's competition. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. Good luck with that. So we've just finished the qualifiers. I believe it was Pip Bakita in P1. I know that, it's okay. Pip, can we quickly have a chat to you as you jump out of the cockpit? First off, 2 minutes 19.3, so far quickest, but did you feel you could have gone quicker?
Yeah, I was down 2 tenths. Then I just set off Skyline and only up, so there's time left in it.
You always want that one more lap, don't you? and just to get the lap time going. What was your actual optimum time? Did you take a look yourself?
As in here or?
No, I meant as in here in the sim.
Here, it was like 19.0.
19.0, so you could have gone a little bit quicker. I mean, everybody could, I guess, once upon a time. You went over to Spain next year. Let's come over here. Let's have a chat just so you can have a breather for a sec. How was the Spain experience?
Spain was not what. I mean, it pretty much was. I was about 3 hours away from getting caught in the floods, so.
Oh, wow, eh?
Oh, I was happy with the pace I was doing over there. I qualified 3rd out of the 60 countries that. So I'm.
Yes, I heard you got taken out, and I believe you might. Maybe let's speak a little bit louder and see if that helps the mic. It's not your problem. We've just got a lot of frequencies here at the Melbourne Showgrounds as well. Now, the experience though itself, you got flown up, flights all paid for. And thanks to Motorsport Australia for running the event too to help you get out there and compete on the international stage. Is that the most pressure you felt representing your country?
That's a hard one, actually. I've done a heap of racing and different things that I've done that I can't really put my finger on one thing that's been the hardest.
So you would rank that first?
Highly, I would highly.
You would rank it highly. It's good. I got an answer out of you. Some other stuff with you. You raced for BS competition. How did you join the team? When did you join? What's the story behind that?
As for BS competition, so BMW M-Team BS competition, let's get that out of the way.
That's good because you're racing a BMW M2 as well. Wow, that's actually conflict of interest. Just kidding, yes.
That part's not important, but actually it happened not long after I did Paul Ricard for Motorsport Games in 2022. I got home and a guy I followed called Nils Neujoks, who's like one of the best sim racers from Germany, like of all time. Like he's like really old.
What's their name?
Nils Neujoks.
Oh yeah, I know Neil. Well, I don't know him personally, but I've talked to him a couple of times, yes.
So Nils just messaged me, and then I just like woke up at about 5:30 because it messaged me at about 3 in the morning. I woke up to the message and I saw a message, hey, do you want to drive for BS competition next year? I went, what? And then, yeah, I didn't need a coffee that morning.
Wow, there you go. So you've been with them, so it's been 3 years now with competition, just if I'm doing the math correctly. My math can sometimes be off. That's why I always mucked up my strategy. They said on the stream, because it's not, okay, we've got our mic in action. They would say +2 for strategy 1, and I would go like 7 laps longer because I just wasn't living. So there's that as well. Let's go through as well. There's a bit I've listed here as well. So you are, I mean, your last major sim racing win, I spoke to you about this yesterday, you haven't properly raced since...
Won anything since December, so we're in a bit of a lull at the moment with the Circuit Courser side of things, as we've just had AC Evo come out to early access in January. So we're not really sure what series are going to run. There's a lot of, you know, curiosity about what's going to come next, but nothing's been confirmed yet. So I've sort of just been experimenting, trying different games, and well, now I'm here doing iRacing, which is not really my strong point, but I think I'm doing pretty well.
Well, I'll let you go get a drink of water, and I've heard you race like fine wine, only better as you get more laps under your belt, and that occurred today. Well done, Pip Makita, so far quickest, but we have 4 more drivers who have stepped into the sims, and there are your lap times, all racing for my racing team. That's a good start. Philip Pipakita, P1, 2 minutes 19.333. That's some good luck there. Buy a lottery ticket, Pip. Still around. I think Pip's made their way over to get a drink. Matt Bowler, very close to Pip Makita. But remember, this is not the final today. These are your qualifying times for tomorrow's semi. It'll sort out the grid. It will also sort out your 3 today from 11 sim racers competing. We had 12, one's pulled out. Sam Smith is not in attendance, and so we will eliminate 3 here today on the Saturday at MotorEx at the Melbourne Showgrounds in the heartland of Melbourne, the sporting capital of Australia. So if you're joining us the live stream, welcome, whether you're watching on the Motorsport Australia YouTube page or even perhaps on SimSpeed. Welcome to our coverage. We're doing a bit of a dual thing here at the Showgrounds. It's half an MC kind of event. If you're watching at home, you might not see those pictures, so there'll be a bit of random talk to some crowd, a couple of random interviews, but also we're going to try and do some commentary on our lap times as our next 4 drivers step in. There's a lot of wheel calibration being done here. I won't interrupt drivers because you don't want to be rude, but I see racing gloves for Joseph Morgan. Joseph, let's have a chat actually. Are you all calibrated and ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
We've got a crowd building behind us. Maybe just raise your arms and show those beautiful racing, Sparco racing gloves you got on. That is beautiful right there. Might be the best set of racing gloves I have ever seen. I got made fun of by Paul Morris once for wearing racing gloves in the sim. He said, don't get burnt. There might be a fire one day at home. Take care of yourself there, Joseph Morgan. You've done it before. You've been on fire in a sim. Well, on lap time base, is that a pun?
Oh, no, like legit. The wheelbase.
Oh, so it wasn't a MOZA Racing wheelbase, because I've heard those are really good. Exactly. It was another one. MOZA Racing today, well, not today, excuse me, tomorrow at the end of the grand final, your winner takes home an R3 bundle worth or valued at $550. You can grab your hands on one at JB Hi-Fi as well. It include pedal set, wheelbase and wheel. MOZA Racing, who are proud partners of today's Motorsport Australia Victorian Esports Championship. Mount Panorama, what a beautiful circuit it is. Let's go through the field now as we get our next 4 ready. We've got Rehan Leon, our youngest driver. Let's chat to Rehan. You're on Sim 4.
Got to test out the steering when we get into the session, but looking forward to it.
It's funny here because you're still in high school. You're still growing. You almost look like you can barely see over the.
It's all right. We'll get used to it.
At home, are you know, there's a next level racing sim rig as well. Do you have the full sim rig at home, or you're kind of the old? But I used to do desk and office chair and everything.
We've got the triple screens, everything. Very different to this.
Beautiful. All right, good luck out there. We'll talk to you in a roundabout. Let's try and get this mic. There we go. Going. There are your drivers on screen. So Callum Newton is in Sim 2. Callum Newton had his phones out, all his calibration settings ready to go. There. Can I have a quick peek at your settings, Callum? Or oh, here we go. He's actually giving me a peek here. Let's have a look. Am I on camera right now? I'm just out of shot. Okay, everybody. Callum Newton uses 0.00 on Vanish X, and that's all I'm going to give away in terms of his sim set. I don't even know what that means, Callum. Let's have a quick chat to you while they're sorting out your session. Confidence going into this. Is this your first live event?
Yeah, it's my first live event. So hoping to do well. You know, I've done some practice over the week coming into this, but the different rig from what I race at home, so it really throws that all out.
It does, and good luck to yourself as well today. You know, for you, are you a free agent in the sim racing world? You don't have a team at the moment?
Yeah, I'm currently just by myself, just having a bit of fun on the sim rig.
So that means if you impress, and people are watching at home at the moment, you may well be picked up by a sim racing team out there, and I could maybe I'll give you my phone book after this. Just go through my contacts on my phone and just have a ring for whoever you want yourself. How does that sound to get yourself a sim racing team deal?
I would love that, yeah, to be on a team, that would be great.
That'd be a good luck, Callum. I'll let you go. And Callum Newton, who's in Sim 2, Joseph Morgan already, he's got game face on. And perfect. Stephen Bull's jumping into it. Stephen Bull, one quick word before you chuck the headphones in. What are you expecting out of yourself?
Look, if I can get below 220, I'll be happy. But yeah, it's just going to be give it a go. Haven't had too much running yet, so we're just going to try and make the most of it.
Stephen Bull, sim racing connoisseur, savant, seasoned veteran. What else can I add to that? Experts. He's everything, Stephen Bull. Good luck, Stephen, out there as he gets his last minute settings going. And we will give it a rest until our drivers head out there for qualifying. Oh wow, I haven't turned back for about 3 minutes. There is a crowd building up, and there's a good reason for that, because it is the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship. Welcome along if you're joining us for the first time. You're watching 12 of Victoria's best sim races. I'm very loud. It feels like I'm echoing across the entire pavilion here, because we're at MotorEx, one of the best motoring events, motoring shows, however you want to define it, in Australia. And some of you may be coming here and watching for the first time. You might see somebody with racing boots on. Yes, that's how serious some of these sim racers take this. They're driving the BMW 2 around Mount Panorama in Bathurst. The warm-up laps are coming in right now. 19.333 to beat. That's the time. 4. Starting with Joseph Morgan on your left in Sim 1. Made it through as a wild. Wasn't initially invited. Somebody pulled out. He earned his spot. Is there a chance that he will tomorrow win this event and win himself this beautiful MOZA Racing wheelbase and pedal set, valued at over $500, available at JB Hi-Fi as well? Or will it be Callum Newton, who's brought his things from home, got everything calibrated as best he could? Will it be Stephen Bull, a veteran of the sim racing world, our oldest here at 30 years of age? Or our youngest next to him, Rahan Leonard? This will make some of you feel sorry for yourself in the crowd. Born in 2010 and sim racing, and one of the best out there in the world, representing our country and representing Australia. And the mean faces. You can see the focus already. Callum Newton squinting. And Stephen Bull's had a moment already at the cutting. So these are still your warm-up times. They'll have about, I just caught a glimpse of lap time there. There are 5 minutes remaining. There it is at the top left-hand side of your pictures as well. There's Rahan Leonard. Still growing. Can barely get his head over the wheel. He'd be perfect for an open wheeler, or at least Formula One as well. Leonard, our quickest pre-qualifier. Through a pre-qualifier online, they had 7 days to set their best lap time. And Leonard with a 2:17 was quickest, but you can see the difference between getting used to equipment here and potentially something you use at home. There's a massive lap time difference, and already our quickest time has been about 1.5–2 seconds off the pace of what you'd see at home. The pressure of a crowd watching behind too. If you've never witnessed this before, this is iRacing. It is a motorsport simulation. The BMW M2 CS racing car is the car of choice, free to use on iRacing. iRacing, you do need to pay for a subscription. You can pay month to month if you want to try it out, or, sir, you can. The mic doesn't want me to talk to you. Now, working, okay. Do you have iRacing yourself? There's a free trial out there, I think, if you sign up for the first time, and the BMW M2 is free. Bathurst is not. And you can drive and compare your lap times to this bunch, Victoria's best. You guys visited Bathurst in the last, you went to the 1000, the 12 hour? The 12 hour. Yeah, it was when you went, you can. Let's actually introduce you. I'm talking to myself at the moment on the coverage. Three questions and I'll leave you alone. Oh, it's perfect. So Jackson, you love cars, you said. You got some good swagger at the moment, the earrings and everything. So you've been to the 12 hour, Mount Panorama, how do you rate it as a racetrack? Australia's best? One of the best, there we go. One of the best, you said?
Well, it's Phillip Island quite well. So.
Phillip Island's a very good racetrack, as long as you're not intimidated by the Cape Barren. I'll leave you alone. Thank you for joining us. Two minutes remaining in warm-up. That's a simulated speed, kilometres now, 150 under the tree coming up. Past Reed Park, up towards the Metal Grate. Good old Frog Hollow. I love the name of that corner. I don't know why we call it the Grate. Frog Hollow is what I'm renaming that in my head. McPhillamy. Top of the mountain, 170 metres of elevation change. Then we begin our gradual drive down to the elbow. It feels like a soapbox derby racer when you drive the BMW M2 around Mount Panorama here. Ryan Leonage, look at the commitment as well. Up close to the walls, testing the limits here. And his first experience with the MOZA Racing wheel and wheelbase, and he's doing a terrific job at it. Not to say the equipment's good, but he's also good himself too. It's 50-50 there. Rahan Leonage, 200 plus kilometers an hour on the very long Conrod straight. The chase is difficult. You have all this time towards the end of the lap to contemplate your lap time. You're looking at the board, you're thinking, I'm very quick at the moment. And if we look at Rahan Leonage's currently 6/10 off his personal best, but he's improving through the chase, through the braking zone as well, and nails it. That's where I butcher my lap the most. And then Murray's lowest point of the track. We went from the top of the mountain up to here, 170 meters of elevation change, and then try not to use too much curb. It's a bit of a high curb. It doesn't really help through there, at least not on iRacing, it doesn't. Leonage across the line sets a, so he's 6/10 off. Callum Newton currently leads the lap times. Joseph Morgan in third. Stephen Bull's yet to get a lap time in. I wonder if he's had some technical troubles on Sim 3. Coming through the final corner now. This may be his first lap time. I'm just taking a look. Sorry, this is out of your pictures, but I'm just trying to see if he's all good and ready to go. I think he's beginning a lap time now. Well, no, he hasn't. He's put his first one in, so 2 minutes 22. That's well off the pace. That was an out lap for Stephen Bull. Checkered flag is out. Now, Ben Christie, who's helping us here from Motorsport Australia, is that the practice session? It's okay, I won't put you... So there's still going to be a qualifier after this, or is that just our warm-up? Okay. So just clarifying to the audience that that is not the official lap times we will use as part of our qualifier. They're going to race... Well, not race. Well, they're going to race, I guess, lap time-wise. It's the clock. Coming up in the next session. Some of them are already out there as well. So the qualifier has begun. Joseph Morgan, top left of screen. You might not see it in your pictures, but if he ever has a moment, you'll see some very nice orange Sparko gloves, racing boots as well. He purchased his racing boots, $700 purchased just to compete in today's event. How about that for commitment? He really wants this win. Really love a shot at winning that elusive Victorian Esports Championship trophy that's handed out tomorrow, as well as a MOZA Racing R3 bundle. Callum Newton. The young man. He's done a great job today. Very poised young man as well. Stephen Bull trying to sort out issues with his sim, and then with Rahan Leonage. I mean, we don't need to keep telling you how quick Rahan Leonage is. Without I rating as a 15-year-old. What were you doing at 15-year-old? What were you doing, Oscar King, at 15 years old?
I probably can't say on the mic.
There you go. Oscar King, who'll jump next. You're in our third and final group today. Your thoughts so far from what you're seeing? I'd kind of like, you're a smart lad. What's your analysis?
I think the times are a fair way off what we'd be doing at home. Just hard to adapt to the conditions. And also the track temp might be a bit higher than expected.
So the conditions, now there's a few different conditions. Is the mic back on? There we go. Okay, Oscar. So you mentioned conditions. The audience didn't catch that. Oscar King, who will jump in our next session. So there's the conditions of using a different sim rig. We've talked about that, so on and so on. But the conditions of this, it's kind of partly cloudy skies out there. Track around, now it should be around the high 20s range if I'm not mistaken, or what is it at the moment?
I haven't actually checked that. At home, I was running on about 28, just in prep. We'll see how it is.
And so, simulated for anybody watching this for the first time, and I think the track temp affects your lap. It affects how the car. You sound like a sim racer. You were nodding your head. You race cars in Formula 4. We might have a future Formula 1 star in our hands here. No, just joking. What's your name, lad?
My name's Giancarlo.
Cool. And whereabouts do you race in Australia?
I raced in the Indian F4 Championship last year, so in India.
Beautiful. There you go. Welcome to MotorEx. You should be jumping in the sim. We when you jump out, maybe you can and have a go in the BMW M2 around Mount Panorama. I don't think legally that's allowed. Sorry, I was just kind of pumping it up a little bit. Welcome, Giancarlo. Have a watch yourself. These are Victoria's best, fighting it out for a first trophy and some MOZA Racing equipment. And Callum Newton in Sim 2. He's got his hands, doesn't he? Into the braking zone of Skyline, then the Dipper. Into the S's. Elbow. Opts for third gear. And nice and smooth up the inside as well there. I feel like he could have maximised a bit more track width, although he's still getting used to the car and the sim. His lap time at the moment, first sector 54.3, second sector not bad. Third and final sector going to fare for Callum Newton. Top almost 260 kilometres per hour heading into the braking zone. Chase. Newton, a free agent in the sim racing world. If anybody's impressed by what they see today, give him a ring, sign him up. Send him a message on Discord, because this lap is looking pretty sweet so far. Callum Newton across the line. 2 minutes, 20.67, and a shake of the head because he thinks he can go a lot quicker. First lap time on the board for Group 2 in our qualifying session. He's certainly quicker than that. His best was very close to that. So his outlap sectors weren't too far off. I think once the tyres get warmed up, that first lap is the most ideal, although he continues on. Joseph Morgan goes quickest now. It's 20.2 for Joseph Morgan. Then wait and see where Rehan Leonage is here on the... Is that Griffin's Bend? Close to getting his first lap time anytime soon, but we'll keep one eye on that. Leonage. Very calm in the cockpit is Rian. His dad would be proud. Let's have a... How first off introduce you. Let's come over here for a three. I think the mic can... There we go. Mic's working there. Introduce yourself. The sim racing community would know who you are. You used to race back in the day, and you've got your son here racing today, the youngest competitor out there in the field.
I'm Laz. I'm Rian's dad. We started sim racing about 6 years ago on iRacing. I started doing supercars, and he was quite keen to jump in, so we got him into supercars as well. Yeah, now he's active in the sim racing community, doing supercars, the V8 Swaps community.
I'm getting kind of, watching you two today, it's like Jos Verstappen, Max Verstappen vibes almost, you know, father, son, little Anthony Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton situation going on here. You're a proud dad, and your son's a very quick sim racer too.
Hopefully he's got a better personality than Mr. Verstappen.
Okay, well, I'm glad I can say that. I don't mind Max, you know, Max, because anyway, well, I think that's a bit harsh on Max. I think Max is blunt, and he tells it like it is. And I think if I'm telling it like it is at the moment, I do believe that Ran Leonage could be quickest here today. And we just have to wait for this first lap time to come about. He's at the chase. Joseph Morgan is also at the chase as well, who you're watching in your pictures. For you yourself, to bring your son here and the support you've given him, he races in the cockpit at home. Did he build that cockpit himself? Did he help you out when you got it?
I helped him with that. Yeah, we built that together. So yeah, it's quite different to what we have here. So I just need a bit of getting used to.
There you go. I'll let you focus. I don't want you to miss your son's first lap time that's coming in. Leonage is 1/10 off the pace. What do you reckon? I get a bit of a nod there. So you're kind of, what's the reaction?
I think there's a fair bit more in it.
For sure. off Joseph Morgan for P1. Morgan is in the pits. This is an interesting strategy. Joe, can I grab a quick, while you're pitting, so what's the thoughts behind this strategy?
New tyres.
New tyres, so why not just press escape and get back in the pits?
We're limited to 60 litres of fuel. I've burnt some of that fuel off, so I want to go chuck another set on and have theoretically a lighter and quicker car now.
Joseph Morgan thinking a good old Jonathan Simon would back in the day when he was sim racing. Well done, Joseph Morgan. That is a good strategy right there. Let's see if it pays off for him. Strategy, Cotton, as Joseph Morgan, our quickest runner, could go even quicker. The lighter BMW M2 CS racing car around the mountain. Leonage can pits. If so I keep one eye on the pictures and us here. Got a couple of screens. If anyone's joining us from the live stream at home, we've got a bit of an audience here for the Victorian Esports Champ. And thanks to Motorsport Australia too for sanctioning the event. Every driver needs Motorsport Australia Esports license. Can you believe it? To race it today. And there is a rule book, and I don't believe the rule book is followed that often because they are very, very hungry competitors, but they do try their best and to the best of their ability make the rules and the rule set. Stephen Ball is out of his sim, so I'd just like to report that information. There's, so we had that in the first heat as well. We had one of our drivers step out. I believe we will hold an extra session for the 3 that missed out in Sim 3. So we'll have an extra session run today. That's what I believe will happen, but we will give you confirmation of that in a few minutes' time once Motorsport Australia, who's organising the event, confirms our alternate strategy. Now, Rahan Leonage across the line. This is his second time lap. 2 minutes 20.2 to beat. Callum Newton jumped up to second place. 5 thousandths off the pace doesn't matter anymore because Rahan Leonage with a 2 minutes 19.739 rockets to the top of the timesheet in this second group. That's still 4 tenths off the pace compared to Pip Bakita, who jumped in earlier, but that puts Rahan Leonage in good position come tomorrow's event. Callum Newton, who improved to second place, demoted back to third and got some work to do here. Joseph. That's a very, very long sector 1 time. I don't believe Joseph is on a quick lap here. No, he's not. That is, this is post pit stop, Joseph. So we switch our eyes on Callum Newton in the number 3 BMW CS racing car. Fixed setup, fixed baseline if you want to compare your lap times. Some stats here. Cool. It's into me then. I had one of the drivers preparing for, he's not here today. For a full week, I was talking to the wrong person that didn't tell me until last night. Even though I told him a week ago, are you this name who's racing next week at MotorEx? And he said yes. And a week later said, no, you've got the wrong person. I don't know what's going on. So we'll forget that story. Joseph Morgan now is 2.5 tenths off the pace. I'll take a peek at that as Callum Newton comes from the chase. Callum Newton's time 4 tenths off his personal best. And improves through the chase. I'm watching the relative lap time, so let's see the sector 3 time here and how it fares. Callum Newton. 2 minutes 20.258. The white flag is raised for Callum Newton here, so the session almost coming to a close, I believe, if that's the case with the white flag. Comes across the line, sets a 2 minutes 20.0 to P2. 2.5 tenths off. Down to third. But Joseph. Two. And through the final sector could then improve to P1 on our screens. freeze always throws you off, doesn't it? This final braking zone. Hammering the brake pedal. It's very heavy as well. Load cell brakes here with the R3 bundle available. But it does not. Now I'm seeing an improvement on the pictures, but not on the. No, sorry, excuse me. I'm seeing an improvement on his sim, but not on the pictures. We'll go by what we see in the pictures, potentially an off track, I believe, on that lap. Wait and see what the situation is there. This is Leonage in the yellow BMW car. So every time we switch to the yellow, that is Rehan in the 4th sim here labeled at MotorEx in the Melbourne Showgrounds. Leonage, your quickest so far, quickest pre-qualifier. The pressure on the 15-year-old. He's absolutely thriving. Heading through the elbow. Great exit, almost scrubs the wall as well. Commitment on that. And that was the best he's been through the elbow, because slowly by slowly, he's improving his time across the Conrod Straight. 2 minutes 19.739. That'll put Rehan in good position for tomorrow. Not as quick as Pit Bakita, who set a 2 minutes 19.333. But it'll be enough to advance. Rehan Leonage, 8 years of sim racing experience, started at 7 years of age. And Callum Newton's gone quickest. Fastest lap time by Callum Newton at 2 minutes 19.6. Where does this put Rehan Leonage across the line? Does not improve. Leonage now second, and Joseph Morgan, your final driver out there on the racetrack, ready to set his lap time, and he's got 5/10 to improve to at least put him in contention with Newton and Leonage. Joseph Morgan, who he paid $700 for. But it's the commitment from Joseph. I'm going to laugh out of that one, which is, it's all right. I won't mention the price tag anymore. Joseph Morgan across the line. And that lap, unfortunately, is invalid for Joseph Morgan. So he will finish with a 2 minutes 20.0, his quickest lap time. Headset off. And we will we'll have a quick chat to Callum Newton. Callum, well done. Come over here for a sec. 2 minutes 19.636. Not the quickest. Pit Bakita was quickest with a 2 minute 19.333. But that lap time came out of nowhere.
My heart was racing. I got halfway up the mountain, saw that I was within my optimal, and wanted to finish the lap and put it together. So I'm really happy that I got to do that.
And you've got your family here. So tell us who's joining us here today. You've got, I'm presuming, Mum?
Yeah, I've got my mum, my dad, my sister, and her boyfriend.
So a lot of support out there, Callum Newton. Second of all, how did it feel? Feeling more comfortable the more laps you got under your belt?
Yeah, for sure. I got to tweak some of the settings from when we did practice earlier, and that helped me just get into it. But especially just getting out there and doing as many laps as I could helped get the car to where I wanted it to be.
I had myself with the most equipment earlier, and it felt really good. You know, direct drive wheelbase and everything. You yourself as well, your settings involved. Do you feel, would that have made a difference today with your lap time? Do you still think you could have produced the same results without your own personal settings?
It's more about comfort when it comes to my own settings, just being able to know that I've raced on them at home for many hours, so it's just nice to have that same look on the sim when I'm here.
And unofficially, last thing, and I'll let you go get a swig of water, I believe you're advanced to tomorrow's semi-final, and of course, hopefully the final for you later on. What would it mean to win a MOZA Racing R3 bundle?
Coming.
It's the dream, he said, if that wasn't caught on the stream, to win a MOZA Racing R3 bundle. Thank you very much, Callum Newton. I'll go get yourself. We get some. Talked about the heart rate racing as he prepared for his final and quickest lap time of that session. From us here at the Melbourne Showgrounds, we're going to take a quick break and we'll bring you the third session of the day with 3 more drivers stepping in at the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship at MotorEx, the Melbourne Showgrounds. Hello, and welcome back to the Victorian Esports Championship by MOZA Racing. And thanks to Motorsport Australia for sanctioning the event. We're here at MotorEx in the Melbourne Showgrounds, the sporting capital of Australia. What more events do you want in Melbourne? We've got the Formula One Grand Prix, the AFL Grand Final, and today we'll find out who is Victoria's best sim racer. Our next three are up in your pictures. Benjamin Roberts, who is in Sim 1, Oscar King in Sim 2, and then Daniel Harris has jumped in Sim 4, which I've heard is the quickest sim, and there's a chance that Cam Waters has jumped in that earlier today, Supercars driver, champion. It's a chance that me, myself, have jumped in that sim and may have topped Cam Waters' lap time in the one game earlier on in the challenge. I'm going to stop pumping myself up because there's a lot more quicker talent here at MotorEx, and let's start off Benjamin Roberts, the top left of your pictures. Ben Roberts, who is already looks like he's got his hands full here in practice. There isn't much time there. 50 seconds remaining. The top left-hand side of your pictures. That's the lap time they want to beat. 2 minutes 19.333 by Pip Bakita. But prizes aren't handed out today. The prizes are handed out tomorrow when we hold our semi-final and the grand final. You are watching the quarterfinals in this hot lap challenge. We're going to eliminate our slowest three today, and we are at the Mount Panorama circuit around this beautiful island that is called Australia. Biggest island on the planet. A couple hours drive west of Sydney is Mount Panorama, or a 6.2 kilometre circuit. And it is, like I've said earlier before, it is one that's very deep within Australian motorsport folklore, is this racetrack. A street circuit during the year. It includes 23 corners, anti-clockwise as well. The best overtaking spots, got to say, turn 2 at Griffin's Bend is one of them. The chase at the end of the long Conrod Straight, another as well. 6 braking zones in the BMW M2 CS racing car. A bit slower than what we see in the supercar. A circuit that opened in 1938. We're fast approaching 100 years in Mount Panorama. How about that? Are we getting older, or has the circuit been around for a long time? It's a little bit of both. Murray's Corner, the lowest point of the circuit of 170 metres of elevation change. McPhillamy at the top of the mountain. Turn 10, very challenging corner. We've seen a few drivers go off at Skyline and the end of McPhillamy as well. A couple mistakes as well through the dipper. And Oscar King with some, I've heard that's not his personal sponsor, wearing his lid, but it is something that at MotorEx in Melbourne. Sunny skies out there, the HDR is on it. Oscar King will have some protection, some sunscreen, ready to go, race around as he heads through the cutting. Oscar King, who has aspirations to become an F1 esports engineer, and is certainly working through that. But also loves to drive himself, and here he is in the blue BMW M2 CS racing car, which you can follow throughout the session. This is the qualifying session. It has begun. Oscar King on his outlap. The young man, obviously from Victoria. This is a Victorian competition. Have to clarify that because it's not a nationwide competition. We're here to find the Garden State's best sim racing breed. The sights and sounds of Mount Panorama as Oscar, right on board with him for the moment, travels through the L, going towards the long Conrod Straight. Expecting 260 into the braking zone as he reached that margin on the outlap. I don't think he's pushing that hard. 257 in the speed trap for Oscar King. The Esports F1 race engineer on the esports world, has aspirations to become a real world race engineer. Looking for him one day, could be talking to Oscar Piastri on the radio. Let's see Oscar King, who jumps in sim, also one of Victoria's best sim racers, and trying to prove that with some bragging rights as he begins his first lap around the mountain. Good start through Hell Corner. The car got rotated really well there for Oscar King. Thought he'd end up in the gravel trap. He'll have to dig it out with his own hands. We saw that with Jim Richards in the 80s, I think, did that once upon a time. I can't remember what year was it, 85, somewhere around that range. But anyway, Oscar King doesn't need to worry about that. And he's opting for socks. The other two sim racers in this set have gone for the racing boots, which make a difference. It's all about feel. Oh, has a bit of a moment through the cutting and corrects it. And that's going to cost him some lap time. Past Reed Park. Oh, that is blistering there. And a great job by track camps as well. Jay Kennedy's in production. Danny Avon joining in from SimSpeed. Welcome along to the coverage. Whether you're watching on SimSpeed or the Motorsport Australia live stream, it's a pleasure to have your company here. And if you're in Melbourne, come down tomorrow as well. MotorEx, a two-day event here at the Showgrounds. Grab yourself a ticket and come and join in on the fun and the action and meet the community here for the Victorian Esports Championship, presented by MOZA Racing and of course sanctioned by Motorsport Australia. Oscar King, and oh, he's got his hands full through the elbow. He's mucked up the apex there a little bit. This won't be his best lap. Will he do a Joseph Morgan and come into the pits and potentially burn off some fuel, get himself a fresh set of boots, go even quicker? Oscar King, 23 years of age. He's sort of from Metro Melbourne. We've got a few country runners here as well. We'll go through them in a moment's time. The chase as well between Gallon there. I know the BMW M2. M4, excuse me. This is like Oscar King. First on the board. There's a few drivers here, I think, who've come across the line at the same time. Benjamin Roberts goes quicker on here. Absolutely explodes in the lap times. 2 minutes 19.326 for Benjamin Roberts. The quickest time all day from end. And Daniel Harris comes in and splits the two. 8/10 off the pace, almost 9/10 from Benjamin Roberts. That is a very, very successful lap time for Benjamin Roberts, who I think will get plenty of screen time. And Daniel Harris is in your pictures now. The final sim in the yellow BMW. Same sim that I've heard Rahman Leon just drove on. Cam Waters was here earlier. Charlie Dixon, a well player, will certainly go here earlier today. Charlie Dixon, all 6'7" of him. Joseph. Adelaide leading goal kicker for 3 years. Australian in 2020. He'll be hopefully back tomorrow. Let's see if he has another go in the F1 game. In the sim racing. I just heard that, no, and so, can I have a chat for a second? So, let's get the mic working first. There you can hear us now.
I'm from Sydney. I'll keep that to myself. Yeah, so I work for MOZA Racing, do all the marketing in Australia. We've been distributing their product for a couple of years now, and it's just it's growing incredibly fast. We brought it out to a stack of different retailers, including JB Hi-Fi and many others. But obviously, it's a Chinese brand. They've got has incredible quality. A third of their company is engineers. So they, the quality of the product's amazing. And, we're really happy to be partnering with Motorsport Australia and all the events that they do for the last couple of years.
Look at it. Way. Test 1 2 1 2. Right, we've got it. I had to go myself with MOZA Racing wheel pedals, the R3 bundle, which is test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Got me now. Great. try it one more time. This is the hot spot. If I come stand here in between Sim 1 and Sim 2, so Benjamin Roberts, let's go back to the action. Thanks for your time anyway. So it's just a couple of minutes remaining in this session. Far. With a 2 minutes 19.326, Benjamin Roberts from Pakenham made the drive up here to Ascot Vale. Not too far, but now let's drive. You're from there too, Joseph Morgan. You guys could have carpooled in today. Oh wow, there you go. Joseph Morgan said he probably could be his neighbour. Joseph Morgan learning in my ears there. So Ben Roberts, whose quickest lap time so far, he kind of doesn't really need to do anything at this stage. Just kind of get used to the car and the sim right now. He's doing a terrific job out there. This qualifier, the quickest heading in pre-qualifiers, and only joined sim racing during COVID 2020. Got him sim rig, but he's getting into sim racing during COVID. Not much to do when you were in lockdown, I guess. Jump on the sim rig. A lot of real world drivers, when I say real world, I mean motorsport drivers did. And he's gone a long way since, has Ben Roberts. Competed in the FIA Motorsport Games Esports qualifier last year. Joseph Morgan was in that too, who stands alongside him. And let's not also forget, he's the two-time Formula 3 Australian champion in the open wheelers. No matter what you put him in, he's quick. And so far, from what I see, he is 2/10 up on his quickest time already. Will we see a 2 minutes 8 for the first time round as he heads towards Murray's, runs off the track a little bit? It's purple. A 2 minutes 19.219 is the improvement, so it moves by a 10 and would have lost a lot of time there through Murray's as he made a crucial error to end his lap around Bathurst. Daniel Harris, first man to say hello to me today, lives in the Dandenong Ranges. The first thing he informed me was, because we spoke last year, about 6 months ago, he used to sim race using a satellite connection. He lives up in the mountains. Now he no longer does that. He's made improvements to that part of his sim racing career, but to even qualify for a live event and the commitment from Daniel Harris in his pursuit of becoming Victoria's best sim racer is unmatched. And everybody's got a story to tell, but Daniel Harris is as determined as they get. The fifth quickest qualifier lives up in Macclesfield in Victoria in the country. Currently, so top 8 go through tomorrow. Let's count down here. So that means Oscar King. Oscar King's out. Moment. So he needs a 2 minutes 20.253. That's what we're looking for from Oscar King, and that would mean Joseph Morgan would be sent home and would no longer need to be required to come here tomorrow at MotorEx and the Melbourne Showgrounds. But for Joseph Morgan's sake, he's hoping Oscar King does not improve as he heads towards the elbow here. And now who's that? That's Benjamin Roberts. And your pictures in the blue BMW. Oscar King is in the red, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is, as you can determine that. Top left-hand side of your pictures. And Ben Roberts. Sector time's not bad, so he's kind of matching his personal best here. But remember, he lost a lot of time through Murray's corner. Let's see how he fares through the chase. Oh, that is a massive moment for Benjamin Roberts. And that may well butcher his lap time. He's got another stab at it through Murray's, but I believe he's probably lost. I would say visually, from what I saw, had his hands full and would have lost a lot of time through the chase. Ben Roberts across the line, that's not even close. So, big mistake from the chase, costing him dearly, but had a great run to get this lap. As Oscar King now, let's have a look. Oscar King's improved in 2 minutes 19.8. And that means Joseph Morgan will go home for the moment. That's provisional. We don't know the end results just yet. But that is a crucial lap time set by Oscar King to promote himself into the top 8, who advance to tomorrow's semi-final here at the Melbourne Showgrounds at MotorEx. And will race his way, at least against the clock as well, and we'll have a wheel-to-wheel battle. That's the plan for the moment in the Grand Final. We'll have a wheel-to-wheel battle for your first place trophy and the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship. master of the motion sim. I've been in one of those before. They can really take the wind out of you, can't they? If you have a massive accident. There's many viral YouTube clips. There was a driver I used to race against. If anybody remembers Jim Paresis, and I remember coming through one of the, I think it was the hairpin at Hockenheim. And I was wondering why he was about 500 meters off the racetrack, and then I watched it went viral, about 400,000 views the next day. His whole monitor set fell off. He had a triple screen, and he brake hit somebody, and all the monitors collapsed. I was wondering for a full lap why he was just sitting there and nothing was going on. In a World Championship event, Jim Paresis, I wonder what he's doing these days. Very quickly breaking the sim racing with Jim Paresis. Racing for the old Twister Racing outfit back in the day. That's a completely different simulator compared to iRacing, compared to Oscar King. The man with aspirations to become an F1 Esports engineer. Andrew Gilliam did it. Supercars E-Series, got his chance to become a race engineer in the main game as well. Andrew Gilliam, one of the hardest working, dedicated engineers out there that you'll meet in the Supercars paddock. Making a name for himself. Good flag for Ben Roberts. He will finish with a 2 minutes 19.219, the quickest driver so far. And we'll have a word to Ben Roberts in a moment's time as he takes off the racing gloves, cools himself down. Quickest of anyone. Can Daniel Harris improve on that? Final corner for Daniel Harris. 3/10 to make up, and that looked like an absolute shambles through Murray's, and he's kind of binned it. Well, I don't want to say binned it, but he's binned his hopes. At least I think is the right way to put that. Daniel Harris out, but at least out of this session, advancing tomorrow, Oscar King as well is safe, and will make it through to tomorrow's quarterfinal. Let's grab Ben Roberts quickly. Ben Roberts, just jumped out of the sim. You're looking a bit hot. It looked like it was a handful for you. That looked physical.
Yeah, it is a bit physical, this car. Yeah, loose is very rear end is pretty loose in this thing, so it takes quite a lot of skill to keep the rear end under control, especially once the tyres are a little bit worn and a little bit hot. Yeah, it felt like I could have done a little bit better. Consistency just isn't there.
The good news is that you're the quickest of anyone, the 2 minutes 19.2, and still well and truly off your personal best at home. But the pressure's on everyone to get used to this equipment. You seem to do the quickest job today at doing that. Your first lap time was enough to get you through to the quarterfinals. Why is that? Did you have a lot of practice this morning you didn't tell anybody about, perhaps?
No, I think that's just practice. Even though the equipment I use at home is completely different and it feels completely different, there's still a lot of muscle memory that's been built up over the week. So I think that was the major factor in getting our first lap down, and also using the rear tyres a bit and getting a bit hot, so I wasn't really able to improve later on.
Very technical analysis, and I like that. Would you have considered potentially tomorrow, when you have to lap again in the semi-finals, would you consider potentially coming into the pits, getting a fresh set of boots, and then putting the fuel down? Because it is a baseline setup that'll make sense to sim races, because once you press escape and reset the car, the fuel goes back to normal. Just one sector. I know that was going to be a great answer, Ben, but we're just going to take a look at Oscar King's lap time at 2 minutes 19.7. He improves, remains slowest in this session, but improves his time, and that'll improve position for tomorrow in the quarterfinal. We'll run through those results in a moment's time, but Ben Roberts, that strategy sound good to you, or would you opt for just running out there and staying on the racetrack?
Potentially, could go either way. We'll see what happens. I think the bigger reason I sort of kept doing laps is for, if I make the final tomorrow, it's 10 laps. That's a long way, so just wanted to see how the car feels once the rear tyres are a bit hot. It's a bit harder to control.
Sounds good. Good luck tomorrow, Ben Roberts. I'll leave you to it. Let's grab Oscar King quickly. Oscar, now there's a bit of drama here. So you've knocked out Joseph Morgan with that lap time. Well done. And proud to make it to tomorrow's semi?
Oh yeah, a little bit surprised. Yeah, and ashamed to knock him out as well. We had a bit of a joke before. If I was 8th and he was 9th, I better let him go. But yeah, no, I completely bottled the lap, to be honest. But it's through, I think, so it should be enough.
You improved on the last time, if I'm not mistaken. I was just watching with one of my eyes. I was like the lizard that can look at two things at once while talking to Ben Roberts as well. I think it was 2 minutes 19.7 as far as I saw. So decent lap time, decent foundation to build off. Still half a second off the pace from Ben Roberts. Can you make up that half a second tomorrow, do you feel?
I don't know about half a second. I mean, probably lost 2 tenths in the last corner, but you know, those guys are clear at the moment. They've just adapted best to the different.
Oscar King, thank you very much. We'll let you go. We'll let everybody go at home for a moment's time, but don't leave us. Take a quick break, visit the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. We'll be back for our final qualifier of the day. I've seen Stephen Bull already jump in frantically in the go to set lap time and see if he advances to tomorrow's semi-final. You are watching the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship, proudly supported by MOZA Racing and of course sanctioned by MotorEx here at the beautiful Melbourne Showgrounds at MotorEx. Hello and welcome back to the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship here at MotorEx in the heartland of Melbourne, Ascot Vale at the Showgrounds. And it hosts this brilliant championship event where Rob Carmichael's jumped in the car. He's taken to his right. It's just me, Rob. It's all good. And he's well and truly focused as he enters his official qualifying session for the quarter-final. Stephen Bull is also in this session, and if he can get that sim up and running, Stephen Bull just trying to get himself comfortable in the sim, is also out. And at least the timing screen shows he's out of the pits, and I'm going to have a look myself right next to me. He is. Stephen Bull is out and running. So, two-car session with Rob Carmichael, and this will figure out whether or not these two advance to tomorrow's semi-final, because for anybody who's joining us here for the first time, whether you're joining us Motorsport Australia live stream, or in fact the SimSpeed live stream on YouTube as well, or if you're here at the Melbourne Showgrounds at MotorEx, welcome along. We've always had a crowd all day, all been absolutely spectacular. Watching in on the action, ready to go. We've already got a line forming to point in on the two sims, which I believe I will probably have a go at sometime before I take off later today. And there's one more piece of information I should mention, in that I mentioned the top 8 will advance, but sadly we will send somebody home. 3 in particular we are sending home. We've already had Joseph Morgan eliminated. He is one of them. So cross that off. Now whether or not it's Stephen Bull next and Rob Carmichael, we will wait and see. Oscar King is on the bubble. Take a look at that lap time chart in a moment's time and see where everybody is ranked. Ben Roberts, P1 at the moment with a 2 minutes 17.2. Excuse me, scratch that. 2 minutes 19.2 from Ben Roberts, the quickest of all runners so far. And that's the lap time Rob Carmichael is looking to beat. Rob Carmichael in Sim 1 on the left, optical socks. And through the first sector, 53.1's not bad. Seen quicker, but this is his first lap in the session. Now, surprisingly, we've seen Rahan Leonage set his quickest lap time towards the end of the session, same with Oscar. We've also seen Ben Roberts set the quickest lap time of the day of his first lap. And it's all simulated. If you're jumping in here, this is like driving a real race car. You don't have to worry about the damage bill, thankfully, because that can total up. And calculating the damage, anything like that. You also don't need to worry about any injury, because it is a simulator. It's here for practice. That's what the simulators are used for. Many motorsport drivers use these to train in their spare time. But for these two, Rob Carmichael and of course Stephen Bull, are our final two in the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship qualifiers. They do this basically full time, you could say. They're both not pro sim racers, but they're as close as you can get right here in Victoria. A couple of our best Aussies have travelled overseas. Josh Rogers, one of the first to actually make the move overseas and actually set out his base in Germany, racing for Commander Sims. He's done a great job over the course of his career as Josh Rogers. He's a Porsche factory. Exactly. Jay Kennedy from SimSpeed is standing alongside me. He informs me that yes, that is correct. He's a factory Porsche driver. He's earned his way towards a terrific motorsport career. Rob Carmichael, first lap time at 2 minutes 19.6. If I'm not mistaken, that's enough for Rob Carmichael. So that will seed him for tomorrow. Semi, depending on seeds 1, 2, 7 and 8 go in semi-1, and then in semi-final 2 it'll be 3, 4, 5, 6. So it remains to be seen where Rob stands in the lap times. Oh, that's a big collision with the wall for Rob Carmichael. No, excuse me, that was Stephen Bull. Excuse me, that has changed and it's updated. Stephen Bull has copped some damage around Mount Panorama. Hosts each and every session this weekend. Illustrious racetrack, and one with so much history, and if the walls could talk, boy, there would be some stories to tell around the mountain. Street circuit during the year. And if you've never been into sim racing before or never even competed in one of these events, the simulated track you are looking at Mount Panorama, 1,000 photos taken to recreate the racetrack. 10,000 people hours put in to replicate exactly every little bump, nook and cranny around here, the letterboxes, the houses, the driveways, where the grass is. I believe this track was laser scanned back in 2012, so that's what you're seeing at the moment. It's his first competitive lap time at the moment, yet to set one out there after striking the wall. Got his hands full through Griffin's Bend, then through the cutting. The inside through here, Trail Road. The scene of a lot of accidents there. No kangaroos, thankfully, in sim racing. I saw, now who was that who hit a kangaroo back in 2004? Was it Jim Richards again? Jim Richards gets a second mention. Somebody correct me if you're watching on the live stream, whether or not you're on Motorsport Australia's pages or SimSpeed, let us know. Run this YouTube and fact check it for me. Let me know. Send me a tweet. Right up close to the wall. That's some brilliant commitment through McPhillamy. Good stuff from Stephen Bull. Doesn't need to use the exit curve. Top of the mountain. Past Skyline, through the S's, the Dipper, you name it. Absolute commitment. Rolling this thing around like a 1,500 kilogram soapbox derby racer. And finally, here's where the engine's needed. The grunt out of the elbow for Stephen Bull. Needs a 2 minutes 19.7, I believe, to be safe. Stephen Bull on your right. And Rob Carmichael on the left in Simulator 1. The Next Level Racing sim rig, keeping the drivers comfortable throughout the weekend. Very comfortable in there. Next Level Racing, good job by them to provide the sim rigs. And I may need to actually put in an order. I don't know if I can quickly sneak that in myself. We'll try and do that before the end of the coverage. Bit of an impulse buy. Never hurt anybody, I don't think. Stephen Bull, that is, well, he's made a mockery of that final corner, and he's shake of the head, I think, explains that. That'll nullify his lap time. I don't believe that 2 minutes 21.6 will count. And I'll just take a look at, this is the beauty of having an in-person event, is we wouldn't know that's an off-track, normally on iRacing, but locally I can take a look at Stephen's sim, and I can see the star on his lap time at the bottom left. And he will now have to have another go at it, and he's also 4 tenths down on this lap, because the run coming out of the final corner put him under pressure and cost him some time heading into Hull corner. So I think he's kind of just going to keep the tyres in check and try and maintain some grip and rubber with 10 minutes remaining in this session. Each driver gets 5 laps. Let's mention that too. The rules say Carmichael, I believe, is on lap 3 at the moment. He's beginning lap 4, so 2 laps to go for Rob Carmichael. And a 2 minutes 19.93 tenths of the pace that last time around. He'll continue on. Hopefully this lap is a little bit better. Rob Carmichael, 9 years of sim racing experience, grew up watching his dad sim race against many supercars drivers in the sim. I think Shane Van Gisbergen was one of the first to actually pioneer or bridge the gap between real world to sim racing and actually begin to compete a lot on the sim. So almost certain that Ben Roberts, not Ben Roberts, Rob Carmichael's dad, racing against Gizzy back in the day, winner at Sandown in the Speed Cafe GT3 series. Stephen Bull has written his own story as well in the sim racing scene. Been on off for about 13 years now, since he was 17 years of age, oldest driver of all our 11 competitors out here on the Saturday at MotorEx and Melbourne Showgrounds. And it's only fitting that Stephen Bull's in the red. And as he comes across Murray's corner, How quick does he go across the line? It is a 2 minutes 20.5. That is not enough. Stephen Bull with 2 laps to go to book his ticket and punch it to tomorrow's semi. More of an endurance racing specialist is Stephen Bull, but also, well, there we go. There are the lap times. So Stephen Bull has to be close. So he needs to be in the 2 minutes 19.7 range, I believe. If I saw that correctly, that's the P8. So a lot of work to do. Can you make up 8/10 around the mountain? I think so. So we've only got 2 in this session. If you may have seen the pictures there, the other 2 sims at the moment actually being used for the many fans here lining up to jump and experience themselves an opportunity in this next sim. MOZA Racing bundle, it works. That was very wait to see if the mic will work, mate. And it did. I startled this man right next to me. Have a go. Quick, don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you sim race much yourself, mate?
Manager for the junior sim racing.
Your name, Alex? Amy. So do you jump on the iRacing or on the which type of simulators? On esports perhaps in the future? Is that the aspiration? Good luck with yourself. So are you jumping on now? If you, so here's the thing, right? On offer tomorrow, valued at $500. Let's not forget too that you get a pedal set, a wheelbase, and a wheel. If you enter, or you're from Victoria, you enter the Victorian Esports Championship tomorrow, excuse me, next year I should say, to clarify that, you can win free bundle, but you can also purchase it yourself at $500. That will help you on your pursuit to F1 Esports chart. Good luck, Amy. Wish you all the best. We'll definitely, I'm not going to say we hope, on your pursuit towards that professional sim racing career. Let's go back to the lap times here. Stephen Bull across the line, 2 minutes 20.0. There's been an improvement. Can he find 3/10s? Final lap for Stephen Bull. Rob Carmichael's safe. And funnily enough, if we switch to Rob Carmichael, he is having a real world issue here, and the sunlight at the showgrounds is actually shining in his face. We're going to have to get some real windscreen wipers aren't going to help. Can we put I don't think this car's got a shade. All right, so Rob Carmichael, thankfully, Rob, you have made your way through, and he's the Motorsport Australia crew sanctioned this event. Great job by the crew here. There's a lot of our members from Motorsport Australia trying to help him block out the sun. That's helping. Well done. Great job at the moment. Dan Yeaman's come in, and all of Dan Yeaman has come in to block the sun. If only you were 15 feet tall, Dan Yeaman, that would all... Funnily enough, I believe this is your last lap. You're 11 seconds off the pace, Rob. Let's step in, and we'll keep one eye on Stephen Bulls at the top of the mountain. Quick word, Rob, that sun, have you ever experienced and like that in the world of sim racing? That's a first for me.
I don't think so, but they talk about criticism in sim racing, and that's pretty much nailed it on the head. That was hard, but luckily my first lap, I think it was good enough to get in, so I wasn't too stressed after that first lap.
Correct, as far as, well, I'm not going to call it, it's provisional at the moment, but well done at the moment, Rob. I believe you have made it through, but it's all about Stephen Bull. Good at the moment, does not look good, to clarify that, in case we had some audio issues here and you didn't catch that. As he comes across the Conrod Straight, I think Stephen Bull's day may be over. As he comes through the chase, yeah, those sector times I'm looking at the moment, 8/10 down, and unless he drives like Mark's game through the chase, which I know he's capable of, I don't know if it's even humanly possible, and yeah, he's going to take that into the pits. A classy finish from Stephen Bull, who's had a lot of disruption to today's event and has tried his best, and will park that car virtually. That is very respectful, Stephen Bull, who was eliminated from the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship. This is the beauty of virtual racing. I can come straight to you, Stephen, right here. Let's have a quick chat. not ideally what you would have liked. And just before that, if you don't mind, quickly, let's clarify something. You see your top 8 there. Rahan Leonage just squeezed through there in P8. Leonage was almost eliminated. You were 1 spot off a spot in tomorrow's semi-final. At 2 minutes 20.0, not enough. You're going to say goodbye along with Ryan Taborski and Oscar King. Disappointed?
Yeah, look, you know, I wasn't coming in with many expectations. It's the first time at a live event. These sim rigs are very different to, you know, the budget setup I have at home. So, you know, I couldn't quite figure out the brakes in time. It was a struggle to get the cars pulled up. Look, I'm glad I was there or thereabouts.
One more thing is you had a couple issues through Murray's. Top of the mountain, your hands were full. The elbow, it seemed, I just caught a glimpse of that after I spoke to Rob. The challenge of driving the BMW around Bathurst, you might think, oh, 2 minutes 17, it's going to be a quick lap time. It still looked like a handful, or am I wrong?
Yeah, look, there's no downforce. You really got to play with the weight transfer a lot, and yeah, there's a lot happening that you need to be thinking about, especially when you're on unfamiliar equipment. It's a lot to take in.
Final thing for me is you're an endurance racing specialist. You love endurance racing. This format maybe not playing to your strengths. What's coming up next for you? What events are you going to be competing in over the next few weeks and months?
Look, you're just looking forward to all the 24-hour and 12-hour races. So as they come through, we're sort of past endurance season at the moment, but as they come back around, definitely looking forward to those.
The Rapid Racing Team Rensport member Stephen Bull, thank you very much for your time. He says goodbye to the MOZA Racing Victorian Esports Championship as well. Thanks to Motorsport Australia as well for sanctioning today's event. I think that's it. So that's your top 8 for today's running. Benjamin Roberts quickest at 2 minutes 19.219. Pip Bakita, that was an impressive time from Pip Bakita. Not the sim of choice for Philippa with a 2 minutes 19.333. Matt Bowler through as well in the 2 minutes 19.3 range. This is going to be a tight fight for tomorrow's first place trophy. And it's going to be a tight fight to find out who's going to be Victoria's best sim racer, because they are all within a 10th. Then Daniel Harris, Rob Carmichael, that's your top 5. Callum Newton and Oscar King made it. Rahan Leonage, our quickest pre-qualifier, just squeezed through in P8. Stephen Bull, Ryan Taborski, and Joseph Morgan, excuse me, will wave goodbye to this competition and their hopes of becoming Australia's best, not Australia's best, Victoria's best sim racer. Australia's best, we could say. Victoria hold the best sim racers, don't they, Dan Yeaman? I would say that is self-proclaimed by Jonathan Simon right here, who's joined you for the coverage. Thanks as well for everybody out there who's joined us here at MotorEx at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Whether you're watching at home on our live streams, it's been a pleasure to have your company. Join us tomorrow for the semi-final and the grand final, and before that, we'll try and get you a celebrity e-race as well from our many different motorsport influencers who join us here at the Showgrounds. But for now, we say so long from Mount Panorama, and we hope you enjoyed the action.